Hey, good morning. Bobby Dagger here. Bad boys, bad girls, if you're new to my channel, thanks so much for stopping by. Let's talk about this silver and gold crash that just happened. What are we going to do about it? Should we do anything about it? I don't know. As a stacker, I love it. It's cool. It's awesome. As an investor, it's great. I've seen this happen 3 times or 4 in my lifetime. Once before I started stacking, when the Hunt brothers tried to own the silver world and they did their thing, and then it came back down. And this is when I really realized we are screwed unless you're in the game, because they can manipulate it. And this is when I started really distrusting fiat currency and that. But because I watched it I was a photographer at the time. Of course, silver is used in paper products and in film. So what happened is the prices went up, the paper went up, the film went up. When the prices of silver came back down, guess what? The prices of the paper and the film came down about halfway. And they, of course, Kodak and Ilford and everybody said, we would have had to raise the prices anyways because of expenses, this and that. And also, I didn't check, but what about silver solder and silver wire used in electronics? I wasn't working in that field, so I couldn't tell you about that. And then, of course, in 2011, after the euphoria and the craziness that happened in 2008, silver went up and then crashed back down again. I was still holding. That's what I do, just hold. I wasn't buying much at that point in time, but there we were. And then recently, silver was leveled off in the 30s for over a year, 2025, and then boom, the noise started happening. The signal started happening early. Silver went up to $121. Gold went up to, I think, 5,400 or something. And then it crashed down. Right now it's sitting around, what, 64, 72, somewhere in that. I didn't check today. I'm going to tell you, I don't check every day, even though I watch it. And I'm going to talk about that later. Gold dropped down. Was I scared? Absolutely not. I'm actually ecstatic. It's a good time to buy. I just bought some silver this week. It's just a good time because anytime it drops, what we're trying to do is find the new bottom where it's going to sit. Will it drop down to the 30s? Will it go down to the 20s? Possibly. I don't know. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial expert. All I know is I'm a guy that does not trust fiat currency. And reading the news today that they want to spend $200 billion on the war in Iran, when it's really not about the war in Iran. It's about making money for the defense contractors at home here, because they just burned off a lot of bombs. They just burned off a lot of planes. They've got to rebuild this stuff. And then thinking about that, silver is really needed in these ballistic missiles, right? So every time they build one, there's so many in the cone of that more silver is going to be needed. So yes, the government will be buying more silver, and the contractors that are making these bombs will need more silver. So of course they want it to be at a lower price. So is this a conspiracy? I don't know. Is this part of the reason it's happening? I don't know. All I know is Goldman Sachs and some of the big names, they're just buying, buying, buying. That's just what they're doing. They've just bought, I think, another 100. Let's see, what's the number here? Let's see. I've got a number here. Let's see what it says here. I can't see it. Anyways, the Bank of China, still buying, still buying. So it's a good time. I think it's a really fun time. Because think about it. Just a few months ago, it doubled. Went up to $121. Now it's down. But overall, from last year to now, we're up over 100%, 150% on silver. And gold's sitting pretty too. Do I think it's going to go way higher than this? I absolutely do. Every time they print money, the silver and gold is more valuable because our dollar is worth less. But the price of silver and gold that we're holding, remember, I'm not talking ETFs or any of that. I'm talking about actual physical silver and gold. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. Now, if you're in that game where you're buying on the stock market, that's one thing. Those guys know what they're doing. They know how to manipulate the market. They loved running it up to 120 bucks. They loved that because the big names, the people that know how to work the system, because they're 5 steps ahead. By the time we see it on CNN or the news, these are people that want you to buy right then. So you spend a lot of money, and then they start to crash it at that point because they want you to start selling it. So then when it comes down to a real low again, they start buying it again. So we don't want to watch the noise or listen to the noise. We want to listen and watch the signal. The big players are working way ahead of us. They know what's going on. That's why the Congress people, they're on the inside track. It's insider trading. We know it is. It's criminal what they're doing. They know what's going on. So they can buy beforehand because they're watching the news. As soon as they know a war's coming, things go up. So oil is going to go up. Oil's up right now. They said it's going to go up 150, 200, but it's back down to 90. So they're playing us all the time. So the bottom line is, I'm not a gambler. I do not like gambling. I think it's evil and cruel. It's not part of my game. I don't want to be watching silver and gold charts every day. I just have my certain thing I do, which is I buy a certain amount every month or every 2 months, whatever it is. There's a certain amount I spend within my limit of money. It's not about how many pieces of gold or how many coins. It's about the dollar I want to spend that I can afford. I never go over my means. I never borrow money to invest in anything. I know a lot of people do that. It's not my way of going to do things. So I don't look day to day. I don't look day to price. I look at the 40-year charts. I look at my life when I'm going to need it. I'm happy it's where it's at right now. It's definitely a time to buy, but it's not a big buy. I still just buy, whether it's 1 coin, 2 coins, 10 coins, 100 coins, whatever you're comfortable with. And I try not to watch the day-to-day charts. I mean, there was a couple of years there I never looked at it. I just didn't. I wasn't even buying anything. I was busy running my business. So I watch the significant times it hits the highs, and then I wait to see where the bottom will be. Not the bottom, where it will level off and stay at for a while, because it stayed in the 30s for a while. I remember when it was 20, it stayed in the 20s for a while. I remember when it was $6, it stayed from 6 to 7 to 8 for a really long time. And then you think, oh, and then I went up to like $12. I said, this is too much to buy. I don't want to buy any, but you still buy, so like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I was listening to Ray Diallo, and he's always talking about don't listen to the noise, watch the signal, watch what's really going on, and don't listen to these so-called experts unless you trust them. I always pick a few people I trust because they're a high wisdom, the Charlie Mungers, the Diallos, these guys know what they're talking about. They've been around forever. And what I noticed with all the people that I respect, they're extremely conservative. They're not gamblers. They do their research, lots of research. So like, do your research on whatever you're working with. If you're working with gold and silver, do your research. If you're working with stocks and bonds, do your research. Don't listen to whoever's talking and say, oh, buy this, buy that. I did that with crypto a long time ago when I first started getting into it. People thought they knew what they're talking about, and they're like, blah, 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 get this one. It's going to be the next big thing. And they're all full of shit. No one knows what they're talking about, except for people that have been in the game a long time. And they're usually pretty quiet about it. They're investing themselves. They're watching what the markets are doing. They're watching what their peers are doing that they trust. Conservative, be conservative. So is this a good time to buy? Absolutely. I definitely think so. Do not watch the charts day to day. I think it's fun sometimes because you see what's going on. If you put it with the noise in the news, because most news is just noise. That's all it is. They're just trying to get you to watch their program. If you look, please leave a like. That'd be great. Please join my channel. That would be great. Subscribe. Look in my links. I've got a great link to Kitco and a few other places where you can buy gold and silver. I've got some trusted sources down there like SD Bullion, golddealer.com. I've got the equipment I'm using to do this video and things like that. Anyways, bad boys, bad girls, I love you. Stay healthy. Be nice to people. And we'll see you next time. So Let me know in the comments if you bought anything, if you're going to buy anything, what your thoughts are on this buying. What price do you think it will actually go up to a year from now? Where do you think it will be? I'd love to hear your comments. I find it fascinating. I wish I knew about all this stuff when I was much younger, but that's what we're talking about, part of this retired man's channel. Anyways, like I said, I love you. Have a great day. Enjoy it. Be nice to people out there, even when they don't deserve it.